Before we get into the video, I quickly just want to show you his build. This is a general route that he follows when it comes to the wall build. He maxes the wall first as there's a lot of value in it. If you max it out, anyone that touches the wall becomes silenced for 3 seconds, which is absolutely insane. This is the general build order, but one thing about Paradox is that it's a very flexible character and there are so many different items that you can build depending on game. I'll explain throughout the match that we're going to watch why he builds certain items and what you might have to think about and what the general thought process is. And by the way, I do coaching in Deadlock, so make sure to head on over to my Discord for more information. And let's get right into the game. I just want to take a quick moment and thank you all for the recent support on all of my videos, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more videos. And let's get right into the lane here. So it looks like he's about to duo lane into a Bebop and Talon? No. Is that a Calvin? Yes, it is. So they lane swapped actually. So he's laning into a Bebop and Calvin. This is a very oppressive lane. First of all, Bebop is fully hit scan, so denying orbs is going to be extremely hard. That ice beam that Calvin does is also hit scan, so just getting farm in general might be a bit harder in this lane. You also need to watch out for that hook. There's some items that you can consider rushing early. I think if I was in a solo lane against a Bebop, I would consider Reactive Barrier. In general, Reactive Barrier in this match has a lot of value because of the Ivy Statue, Haze Sleep, Talon Bird, Bebop Hook, and 7 stuns. So it's a very, very good item. Another item that we can consider early on in a duo lane is Divine Barrier, because we can put it on ourselves if we get hooked into Bebop, right? But if our teammate gets hooked, we can save them as well. So it's kind of like a pseudo reactive barrier on a shorter cooldown that you can put either on yourself or on a teammate, and it gives you a lot of value throughout the game. As you can see, there is kind of hard to last it as they have 2 hits. Like Bebop's gun is full hit scan, it's the only hit scan gun in the game, and then Calvin's frozen beam is also hit scan, so extremely annoying to play into, just trying to farm as good as we can. I think MikaelS is just playing very safe here, and he's just farming up. I think he's gonna farm up for that 1250 item that we talked about. But yeah, just playing very good around cover and just trying to get the farm that he can. The Wraith, his teammate here, the duo, is not playing super aggressively either. I think they're just both looking to farm up. I wouldn't say that this is a kill lane. It's gonna be hard to kill Calvin and Bebop in lane. There's the Ice Beam. Just super annoying to deal with, honestly. And he starts with the grenade, and then he goes into the beam, and then we go into wall. So wall is the third ability that we unlock, but it's also the ability that we max out first. I think maxing out your carbine is kind of a trap. Like the max out doesn't give super much. It's a 50% max damage amp. If we max out wall, that's a 3-second silence, and if we max out our ult, it's a 20+ meter cast range. And with the recent nerfs to Paradox, where the cast range is shorter on the ult, it's worth to max that out later. And as you see there, he bought Divine Barrier first, so he's kind of going into the same thought process as I had there, where if we get hooked, we can put it on ourselves. If our teammate gets hooked, then oh, we might see it in action here. Yeah, puts Divine Barrier on himself, pops the wall, and there is no way he survives that without Divine Barrier. There's absolutely no way. We are kind of low here, so I would probably consider a Healing Rite. I think Healing Rite has insane value. I think I've said it in past videos too. You get a lot of healing from it if you're low, and also you get movement speed whenever you pop it, so whenever you're ganking or going between lanes, it's worth. Yep, he does build the Healing right there. Pops the Divine Barrier on the Wraith there to save him from the bomb. I don't think the Wraith would have died, but just being able to soak that with a shield just helps so much, especially since our Wraith doesn't really have any healing right now. Our Wraith went for full purple items, no healing right there. Goes for some boxes in the meantime while the wave is in a decent state. Gonna get a bit lucky here with those two, which is kind of nice. Uses the Kinetic Carbine to gain movement speed, and then also stuns the Calvin to do some poke. So Kinetic Carbine is very nice for the movement speed, and in general, Paradox has very nice movement, especially with that unique dash animation too. It's just very smooth to play Paradox, it's very fun. Super oppressive lane, we can't really do much, we really can't. Dodges the hook there, nice. Wraith is going for an all-in. Whenever our Wraith has a lot of cards, we can go in. And also there's a Mirage ult coming in. We stun the Calvin, he gets tornadoed, he dies. Or should be dying here, there we go. And then Bebop also dies. So I'm sure the Mirage communicated that in the voice chat that he was about to TP in. And we just react to that accordingly. The Kinetic Carbine on Paradox is so nice for catching players. It's super, super nice. And now we have our ult, so we can start looking for swap plays as well. Paradox is a very good ganker. If the waves are pushed up like this, looking to go to other lanes is super, super nice, especially when you have swap. It's almost always a guaranteed kill if you do it on good timing. Our Wraith is throwing some cards, just poking. I think that's our best poke in this lane. It's the Wraith cards, so playing around them is super, super good. Trying to get the farm that we can. We got denied super much there, and again, it's that Bebop. It's the hit scan right there. Just have to do our best to maintain and sustain. Going for headshot booster and high velocity mag. We get a lot of bullet shield from that. Paradox gun does quite a bit of damage, and if you manage to hit headshots, it's super nice. Misses the hook there. Using some nice movement to get away. Ooh, he went for the late swap. I think he hesitated there for a split second. I'm not sure if the swap was the right play, but I think that's why he hesitated. I don't think he was sure on the play there. But in general, the combo is to do kinetic carbine into swap. Looks to me like he's trying to jungle. I don't think Paradox is super good jungle. Like, I don't think Paradox has super good jungle damage early on. Yeah, as you can see here, it's not ideal. I mean, we get one of the bigger ones, but I think there would be more value from just staying with the wave. Popping the healing right there for some movement speed and to top ourselves up from the jungle camp. Going for some boxes, and we could look to do something here. I mean, our Wraith is doing that camp. And maybe we can try to catch the 7 here. We might try to sneak up. We hear the 7 jungling on our left here. Maybe he's calling for the Infernus to also join here. 7 jumps past us. I'm not sure if he saw... I'm not sure if he saw MikaelS here. And there's a gank. I think there's 3 people here in total. We try to save Infernus with Divine Barrier, but we can't do much. We do a lot of damage though with the Carbine, and the Bebop also stood in the Flame Dash from Infernus, so they are quite low, but yeah, there's not much we can do whenever 3 people gank there. He tried to save his teammate, but I think Infernus was a bit too deep. Just staying in the lane to farm up here. I think Wraith saw that there's 3 in her lane right now. We have Calvin, Ivy, and Bebop there, so I think Mikael is just gonna stay here and wait for the Infernus to come back. Soul sharing is about to end as well. At 8 minutes, the souls don't fully share anymore. Instead, they just get split 50-50. So if you're 2 in a lane, you're losing 50% of that value. Looks like our Infernus is just jungling. We're building boots, we're building extra stamina, and again, Paradox is a very movement-heavy character, so having more movement speed and having access to extra stamina just helps you so much. Especially with finding the right angles for the Carbine and your swaps, and also just to weave back and forth between your wall. Because that's generally what you want to do in a fight. You want to place your wall and then you just want to play around it, and being able to go through it or around it very fast helps you so much. The wave is shoved, the 7 has to deal with that, and we can look to maybe do something here in this lane. Maybe we can catch Bebop. Or we can deal with this wave too. It's not super much to do on the map right now. The main thing is just catching waves, defending towers, and pushing in. Possibly getting towers too. At 10 minutes we have the buffs spawning in the urn, and I always try to look for the buffs, or I try to have a good timing and be there. There's so much value to be had there, and there's a lot of people that still don't value buffs as highly, especially in the lower ranks. Here's 7 farming here. We might try to do something. We can catch people. There we go. The 7 goes around. We hit the swap, and that's super nice. So notice that he does the wall, places the bomb on the ground. 7 tries to run away. We use our swap, and 7 lands inside of our bomb, and he just dies. And since we have so much movement speed, we can be in a lot of places on the map very fast. So if we do expect somebody farming, I mean, if we look at the enemy team, there's a 7 and a Haze. They will be farming the jungle, and we can look to catch them to grab their bags. So that's kind of a way that you can snowball on Paradox. It's very nice. The only thing that you don't really have is you don't have a proper escape, but you get very tanky and you have a lot of tools to survive. You also get, I think you get lifesteal from your ultimate ability, right? Yeah, you get 100% spirit spell lifesteal when you swap someone, so you can sustain a lot in a fight. You can survive for a very long time. Also, we have 2 charges on our wall right now. I think MikaelS goes for extra charge as well, which means that we're gonna have 3 charges eventually. And yeah, when you upgrade the wall, you also get +1 charge. So I think in the end, we're gonna have 3 or 4 charges on our wall, and it's just super nice to have that on command. Also, placing down multiple walls in a fight does so much, because every time somebody passes through the wall, they take 10% max health damage. So it's good at shredding tanks, and it does so much damage. That's why I always try to swap people through it. We pop Divine Barrier there to survive. Could have maybe swapped the Bebop there, I'm not too sure. We don't really have a teammate, so not really worth it, but just pressuring the enemy team here. Shoving the wave. I think we want to get this tower down as fast as possible. At 8 minutes, there's minus 35% resistance to a tower, so they do go down very fast if you do try to go for them. Bebop misses hook. We swap him into the wall. He eats a lot of damage. There's a bomb. I'm not sure if he's going to die there. worth an attempt. We still have Divine Barrier if anything would go wrong. We have healing, right, if we get the chance to pop that. And I think we're just gonna look to grab the tower here. Oh, Bebop actually ults. Okay. Well, that's kind of hard to play against. There's a haze there. We pop Divine Barrier. We can play around the haze pretty well here, actually, with our wall. So, notice how the movement speed is useful here. We're just going back and forth with the wall. Our Mirage comes in there, saves us with the tornado. And I think the haze is going to die, probably. Yep, there's the kill on the haze. So, I think people get too greedy whenever they try to go on a Paradox. And there, we don't have Divine Barrier to save us. So, quite unlucky there. Let's see what's going on the map here. Infernus is defending. Ivy tried to take the urn, but failed. So I think he's just going straight for the Infernus. The Ivy can't really kill him. And... oh my god, this Ivy is throwing. There's a Divine Barrier, but the burn keeps getting refreshed. Ivy goes down. And... I think that's a kill. Well, I have no clue what I've just witnessed. That is insane. But let's just get back to Mikael here, who's coming into the same lane. We see that there's a 7 and a Calvin here, so maybe we can try to make a play. We do the bomb, wall, maybe look for a swap. But oh, I think we missed the swap there, damn. Still doing a lot of damage, pops Divine Barrier. Look at his HP, he has 2 players on him. Look how much he's sustaining. Like, it's like nothing ever happened. It's crazy. And I think 7 was farming this camp here with and Infernus probably did some damage to it as well. So I think Mikael is just looking to finish that off. Now our wall is maxed out. So whenever somebody passes through it, they become silent for 3 seconds, which means that they can't use any abilities. Just so much value to be had there. And the fact that we have 3 walls that we can put down is just insanity. Not sure if we're looking for something here. I think it's just using the movement speed to move around and potentially look for a stun, but we don't have our swap. I think the kinetic carbine goes on a very, very low cooldown later on in the game, so just using it on cooldown is very nice. You're moving around the map super fast, and you're also stunning people and doing a lot of damage later on, honestly. And yeah, there's the extra charge, like I said. We have 3 charges on the wall. We also build Mystic Reach, because the general range on the swap is 25 meters, which is kind of low before we max it out. There he goes for a play on the Calvin. The Calvin is silenced, so he can't do anything here, and I think he's just about to die, yep. We also built Healbane there because the enemy team do have a lot of heals. I mean, Calvin Grenade, Calvin Dome are probably the main things that we want to deal with. Ivy does have some healing later on too. 7 will also get some Spirit Lifesteal going. I'm not sure if he has it already. We can take a quick look. He has Enduring Spirit and Spirit Lifesteal, so a Healbane into that is also very good. Like I said, there's general builds to follow on Paradox, but you can be very, very flexible on this character based on the enemy team comp. There's so many different items that you can build, and you're just there to counter the enemy team. You're not a super hard carry unless you go full damage Paradox, and in the higher ranks there's just so much value to be had if you just flex around what the enemy team have, if you flex around whatever they're playing, and yeah. We don't have Divine Barrier. I think we're just dead there. We did not expect the Bebop. It looks like our team is brawling while that is happening. We get a tower, which is completely fine. MikaelS is gonna be spawning in about 15 seconds, so overall not too bad of a game, or a little bit ahead right now. Notice how he builds Mystic Shot and Headhunter as well. It's just to do so much damage with your gun. Hollow Point Ward gives us extra Spirit Shield. Headhunter gets us extra Bullet Shield. So High Velocity also with extra Bullet Shield. We just have so many shields, and with Divine Barrier on top of that, we can just sustain so much. And with the Lifesteal that we get off our ult and the walls that we play around, like, we are just so... I would say that we are just very tanky, although we don't really have tank items. But we can just stay alive for so long in a fight. And for now, we're just catching these waves. We know that Talon and Ivy are on this side of the map, and we try to push 2 waves here at least before we leave, so we establish an automatic push. Buffs are up right now. And if you notice, like, there's not a lot of people posturing up, but I think MikaelS has this in mind. Maybe he tries to catch someone here. We get the Talon, we pass him through the wall, he gets silenced for 3 seconds. Not sure if this is going to lead into a kill, but we're doing a lot of damage. We pop our Divine Barrier, have to reload the gun. We have another wall that we can place down if we need to. There's the Bebop hook, and I think that's our cue to just leave, because now we're in a 1v2. Our teammates can't really help. Mirage does have his TP in about 1-2 seconds. So worst case, you could have maybe TP'd over. But yeah, there's just no point in continuing that play. And since our swap is on such a low cooldown right now, like, we can look for these plays. And especially around hotspots like that, whenever the buffs spawn, we can look to just be there, and if something happens, we can just swap. Return Fire has insane value this game as well. If we look, there's a Haze, there's an Ivy, there's a 7. Bebop is also going a full gun build, so if we do end up getting hooked, we can pop our Divine Barrier, we can pop our Return Fire, and we will most likely just sustain through the entire damage. So Return Fire just has really good value here. Like I said, very nice into a Haze ult as well. You combine that with your wall. There's the Bebop hook, we pop Barrier, pop Return Fire, and... yeah, look at that. Bebop gets swapped into a Mirage Tornado. He loses half HP through that entire trade. Like, while we can't really do much, we pop Return Fire and he lost half HP. So, just insane value from both items there. And they're both so cheap. They're 12.50 each. I would say both items are super good. I think I talked about it in my last video, but I think Return Fire is a bit too strong right now. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been nerfed yet. So, definitely look into getting that item if there's a lot of gun damage being done in the game. Hits the stun on the Talon there, beautiful. Just poking. I think since we are so far ahead right now, we're about 14,000 ahead. Our team is just holding on to the urn. There's not really anything that we need to do. I mean, all towers are down. And I think we can just start baiting with the urn. I think that's what the call probably is here. We're holding on to the urn, and maybe we can try to find a swap or something with the stun. Or maybe we can just stun somebody so our teammates can go in. I mean, stun into Mirage Tornado, stun into Wraith ult, stun into Dynamo ult, stun into Vindicta stake as well can be insane. So like, there's a lot of interactions to be had there. Important to think about what our teammates can do if we stun somebody. We don't necessarily need to always swap if somebody gets stunned. There's a lot of different things that can happen. I think we're pushing up on the Bebop there. He's out of position, gets swapped into the wall. We do get silenced. Maybe pop Return Fire here. There it is. It is popped if something would happen. I think the Healbane is gonna put in work here. Kelvin gets silenced. He doesn't get healed in the dome there from the Healbane. It's such a good anti-heal item. And also, if you do land a kill with Healbane, you do get a lot of shield. Look at that wall, though. Every time someone passes through these walls, they just get silenced. Look at that. Both of them just fully silenced there into a Mirage Tornado. Bebop runs through our walls as well. Just takes so much damage, and he's just silenced again. So... oh my god, like the walls there are insane. There's just so much value, and they're so big too. And now we have improved recharge, so our walls are recharging more often. We have 4 charges on our wall, and I think we're just looking to do the mid boss here. One thing that I like to do after you grab the Rejuvenator, just to make a general call for the team and a general goal, something along the lines in this game that would be nice would be, okay guys, there's 2 walkers left, let's maybe focus on getting those with the mid boss, or maybe try to get 1 walker and do the urn right after. Just try to put a general direction for your team here. MikaelS is staying out of it, so instead, in case of anyone coming in here, he would just stun and swap them out, so our team would get the reju for free. Just in the case of somebody wanting to steal. I mean, they do have a lot of options to steal. They have the 7 stun if he puts it on himself and runs in. Ivy statue is also quite scary to deal with, but just, yeah, in general, looking for a swap there in the case of anyone coming in. And now we're just jungling. The waves are gonna automatically push themselves. We have about 3,800 gold here. I wonder if he's going to buy or if he's saving for a 3k or 6k item. I think he might as well just buy here. We have speed boost if we need to use it, but I think we can just hold on to that for now. Oh, there he pops it. Never mind. Let's see. We buy 42 there, and that gives us way more movement speed when we're 75% HP. We gain 4% max HP regen after 10 seconds, and we gain weapon damage as well while over 75% HP. And now we just speed onto them, just trying to take a fight here. Haze is here too. Return Fire is not activated, so we have that as a tool. We have our walls, and I would say that we're at a very strong point in the game here with Rejuvenator, especially because it also increases our fire rate, so our gun damage naturally goes up. There's also been a change to the urn recently. The threshold is 10% now for when you have to deliver it in the enemy base. It used to be 8%. I think 10% makes a bit more sense. And the way that I like to use the urn in this situation is just to bait out a fight. You don't necessarily have to force anything, you don't have to deliver it, but just hovering around this area with the urn when the enemy team see you. At this point, when you are about 20k ahead, you do have to contest it. I think we're looking for a swap here. He gets silenced, he can't dome, he can't do anything, so he's just dead. And now would be a good timing to just take the urn and try to deliver it. We have the number advantage, and if they do want to contest, which they might actually try to do because they're so far behind, I mean, we can just drop the urn and grab the walker here. We're just pressuring the enemy team so much. If we deliver this urn, we'll get a lot of gold. So yeah, just about maxing out that value from the rejuve that we got from the mid boss. Stunning the Talon into the air there. He falls down. Dynamo Black Hole. I think a solo black hole there is completely fine. I mean, we had 2 kills already. Getting a 3rd one there just delays the enemy team by so much. And then we can just get in here and probably grab both shrines and possibly maybe end the game because we are so far ahead. Let's see, we do the swap there through the wall. He's going to die. I think the second shrine is about to fall here. Wraith hits a 2-man ult, almost a 3-man there. Ivy and Talon are about to spawn, but they're just staggering so much. Like, this is... So, on the enemy team here, there needs to be a call made to just stall out the game. I mean, it is very, very hard to win this match. I mean, when you are 20k down, you can still do a comeback. I mean, there's always a chance for a comeback, but I think at this point, most people just give up mentally. And there just has to be a call, literally, when the mid-boss... When you lose the mid-boss... and you start losing your walkers, there needs to be a call to just fight in base and use that high ground to stall it out. You just have to wait it out. But I think the enemy team were just too mentally defeated, and I think the game is just going to end there. Notice how he plays around the wall for the Hazel there. We're not taking any damage. We still have Divine Barrier. We swap Talon into the wall, and that's a GG. Just a super clean game and just getting so much value out of your walls on Paradox. I would say Paradox is a very hard character because you need to know a lot of interactions and matchups, but I think it's a super fun character and you can provide so much value to your team. And here's the post-game screen for this one. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, take care. Bye-bye.